Chance at 70. Embiid, coast to coast for 70.
70? Yeah. He had 70?
Yes, KD, he had 70. And from the face you just did, we might know what you're thinking. Is Embiid the most unstoppable player ever? Good question. Some other names also come to mind. Some might still say it's MJ. Others gonna say it's Wilt. A lot of people think of Shaq as the most unstoppable player because of his dominance. But it looks like Embiid is coming to take the name for himself. That's what we have to show you today, coming up next.
To the best big man that's ever played this game. He's got to be in that discussion. It'd be a crime if he leaves the game and that's not the case.
Hey, Hoopers. Welcome back to Dishing Dimes. You already know today's topic, so dive in with us and feel free to comment if you agree or not. Let's talk about the dominance of the process. To make our point, we'll compare him to his fellows of today and also to the legends of yesterday, breaking down the stats as they are. Before we dive into all that, let's rewind a bit. Joel Embiid's journey in the NBA has been nothing short of remarkable. From the early struggles to the trust the process era in Philadelphia, he faced adversity head-on. Let's look at his losses. He has had injuries. He lost one of the tightest series ever. He lost Jimmy Butler, and that haunted him in the future. He lost Ben Simmons, and worst, through a soap opera. Supposedly it turns out to be good, because he joins forces with James Harden. But wait, another soap opera.
Maury is a liar, and I will never be a part of an organization.
And besides all that, the media wouldn't give him all the credit he deserved. And do you know what Joel thinks of all this story?
Let's get ready to sugar!
Break it down. Degenerate into something fool. We just got tired.
Well, looks like he doesn't really care.
I was kidding, man.
The setbacks only fueled his determination. And today, we see a player who embodies skill and dominance. This season, Joel Embiid has been on an absolute tear. But is this enough to crown him as the most unstoppable player ever? Let's find out. Now, let's stack him up against the big men of today's NBA. From Giannis to Jokic, how does Embiid's dominance compare? His versatility, both offensively and defensively, sets him apart. Giannis is a great defender, but we know that offensively he has one major flaw. And on this subject, both Jokic and Embiid are on the top 10 centers in free throw shooting. You can see in the table that Jokic and Towns are above him, but you know what's the major difference. Look at the free throws made, and at the free throws per game. In terms of times of going to the line and actually making most of them, Embiid is the best big man to ever do it. Talking now about Jokic, we know he is arguably the best player in the NBA. We know he is a maestro on the offensive end. But we are talking about dominance, about being so good, so strong, and so fast that you become unstoppable. And that is Embiid. Look at what he does to Jokic right here.
One game on the low side behind Boston. Oh, Embiid goes right around Jokic and then smashes the rim. Just been absolutely.
Excuse me. Now take it.
He's showing you his dribble game all night long. The power game down inside. He'll take the hits and he'll get to the line.
Speaking of dominance, it's hard not to draw parallels with Shaquille O'Neal. The Diesel himself was a force to be reckoned with. But looks like Joel Embiid is the new face of dominance in the league. Look at the similarities. Two massive players with tremendous power, but also with fantastic speed and ability. In this next play, we can see how Embiid uses his body in the post to get on the outside of the defender. Then he just rolls and dunk it like Shaq. But here comes the major difference. Embiid's is not going to miss the free throw. Look at the difference in free throw shooting. And summing to the fact that Joel shoots threes, the free throws made create a gap in the points per game in each player best season. Talking about points just reminded me Wilt Chamberlain still has the record of more points in a game. But does anyone still doubts that with the evolution of the game, the competition got exponentially better? Look at this stat sheet. 70 points, 18 rebounds, and 5 assists. Wilt never did that.
Wilt never did this?
No, sir!
Also, Embiid is scoring more points than minutes and beating Wilt's old record. And to top it all off, he stole the record for most points in a game in the Philadelphia 76ers history. Joel is the front runner for the MVP this year, but we know he still has something to prove when the playoffs arrive. Maybe this year is the year we will see that. Oh, and don't forget, the way you can keep getting this content is by subscribing to the channel. We'll be here just dishing dimes.